Guten Tag. Buenos dias. Making some juice this morning. It's New Year's Eve. We're on the dawn of a new year. You know, hoping that this next year is full of blessings. Corrections. You know what I'm saying? Time to make peace with the imperfections. Yeah. Making juice this morning. Got my cucumbers. I don't know how to say cucumbers in Spanish or nothing. I got cucumber, I got apple, and I have celery, ginger, and lime. So we're gonna see what that turns out to be. I'm hoping it's a really fresh, delightful juice. This morning, I'm grateful for a lot. I'm grateful to wake up. I'm grateful to have made it through another year. There was some challenges this year. There were some lessons that I wasn't expecting to have to learn in the way that I learned them. There was a lot of discomfort at times, but I'm grateful to be on the last day of the year in a space of peace and reflection. I asked a lot for clarity this year, and it came to me. It came to me in ways that I didn't expect. It came to me from people that I didn't expect to get it from. It was funny because there were moments I had this year that I probably would have considered losses in any other time period of my life, but I found a way to just like accept it more. I think I have a deeper gratitude for acceptance this year. The second thing that I'm grateful for, I have 499 subscribers on YouTube. I think it'd be cool if I get to 500. So if you're not a part of my YouTube channel, if you're not a part of the YouTube space, you know that I'm creating a guy from a place. Tap in. I'm really excited about these new numbers. The third gratitude is the ability to be myself. As of late, I've been just reflecting on how sometimes I get kind of like I get shunned or kind of told that I'm doing things wrong. Like there's another way to do things. Like even this, right? There's another way to make juice. But I have fun doing it this way. It's kind of tedious, but it's like my little process. It's cheaper, right? So all it requires is time and just the desire to do it. So I've been doing this, and like I said, I have fun. But I'm grateful for being me. I'm grateful for being myself. In a world that's consistently like telling us that's not enough, and in a time period where there's like so much going against being yourself. It's like I remember I was just thinking about some of the influencers and like the people that have gained immense popularity over the last couple of years, and a lot of them have messaging of like you have to be something else. Like their messaging is literally like you're not enough, bro. Like go to the gym, bro. Like get super fit, bro. And once you're fit, then like all the women will want you, bro. And like get your money up, bro. Because if you're broke, like you're worthless. And it's like, bro, like, hey, bro, you was just broke the other day. Like you just came up, and you're blessed to have come up. But like, rather than acknowledge the ways you're blessed, you're sitting here telling people that they're not enough because you're so blessed. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's really weird. And there's not enough acknowledgement in a lot of the spaces of the one who makes it possible. Like, a lot of the blessings that people have are not because of their own understanding. They were blessed with an opportunity. Somebody else helped them. Like, somebody in community might have given them some game at the right time, and they were able to capitalize on it. But I think a lot of people have just been, like, affirmed in their narcissism. They've been affirmed in their ego, and it's uncomfortable. Like I'm saying, I'm just grateful to be me. Like I'm wearing this scarf lately. I enjoy wearing these scarves. I enjoy putting different earrings on, and like I think I'm going to get a nose ring. I'm going to get a couple new piercings in the new year. I've been dyeing my hair. I've just been doing things that like I don't have to discuss with anybody outside of myself and God. And I think if the world and like more people were allowed to exist in that, it'd be a little more fun. I'm thinking about like having a couple people that were like close to me, like, why'd you do this? I was like, well, why are you looking for an answer for why I'm doing this? What would my answer give you? Would it give you peace to know that I dyed my hair because I'm going through something? Like, no, I literally dyed my hair because it's fun to dye my hair. I like to see my waves be golden instead of black. I like to see, I like to look at myself in the mirror and just be like, wow, you did that. Like, that's my own little joy. And what it means to everybody else is not as relevant as it used to. So I'm really grateful for that. Really, really grateful for that. Collective consciousness is rising. Power to knowledge. Use all you can to survive and thrive. Amen, amen, amen. Shout out to John Michaels. John Michaels, Jesus loves you just as you are. Shout out to Thomas Glick, 14 Ranger. Shout out to y'all this morning. Yeah, that was my third gratitude, being myself. My fourth gratitude, I say it a lot, but community. I'm really grateful for social media. I think there isn't enough understanding or like enough conversation around the ways that it has connected us. I do acknowledge the ways that it's damaged us as a community, but I've gotten to know about people that I would have no reference for if there wasn't social media. Like literally having people, even in some of the more toxic spaces, the spaces that turn toxic, but like there were brothers in certain spaces. I won't even mention the names of the spaces, but they were in certain spaces speaking about the ways you can improve yourself and the ways you can be more accountable. I learned a lot about accountability through people who had YouTube channels that weren't doing it to get money, but just doing it to give back. And accountability has been really big. Like in therapy as of late, I've been having more conversations about holding myself accountable and acknowledging that other people will not hold themselves accountable. So just giving more grace for their inability to be accountable for their actions. And a lot of it's based in fear, a lot of it is based in ignorance, but like that doesn't have to be your reality. Just because somebody else is ignorant, because somebody else is fearful, it's not a marker against you. It's just something they're dealing with. And that just really understanding it's not me, it's you. And understanding it's me, it's not you. Those two things have really helped me this year. So those are my four gratitudes. My reflection today, something I'm looking back at. I'm grateful for the present moment and then I'm reflecting. So the reflection is I loved Purple Rain growing up. Like extreme love for Purple Rain. And I loved Prince's music. And I loved Luther Vandross's music. And I loved Smokey Robinson's music. I loved Motown. My grandparents listened to Motown. My dad listened to like 80s classics and hip hop. My mom listened to 95.9 in the DMV area type thing. So I just grew up on a lot of R&B. And I've just been like wanting to watch Purple Rain so much lately. Like I just wanted to see Purple Rain again. And last night, I was able to do that for myself. I watched Purple Rain again as an adult. Like at 28, I watched Purple Rain. I think the first time I even had a concept of Purple Rain was like 8. Like I saw Purple Rain too early, too young. I'm watching Purple Rain as like an 8-year-old in Baltimore. I'm watching this guy with blouses on, makeup, and high heels. Like just be that dude. Like I'm watching Purple Rain at 8 years old, bro. So I'm thinking about I'm thinking about that as I'm watching it. I'm like, yo, I saw this too early. And I didn't realize how many themes are in this movie. Like it's so much weight in Purple Rain. And I'm like, how was I watching this at 8 years old? And I'm like, sufficiently pleased. Like I really enjoyed Purple Rain. And even in terms of looking at Purple Rain, I've been laughing at Batman being my favorite character growing up. I really enjoyed the Batman cartoons, Batman animated series. Like a huge fan of Batman animated. Juice. Jugo de manzana. Jugo de manzana y I don't know. I don't know the rest, but I'm making juice with cucumber and apple and ginger and just something else. Yeah. But bro, I was a super like fan of Purple Rain. And it's also like my parents were. My parents really enjoyed Purple Rain. Like I said, my dad was a big Prince fan. So like I was stuck and watching it last night. I was like, bro, he was giving it up crazy. Like it's a scene where Morris Day is walking down the street talking about getting with Apollonia, and making Apollonia 6 or whatever. Like yeah, because I think it's Vanity 6 at some point, but he makes Apollonia 6, and there's a girl that Morris Day was with, and she runs down on him like, Morris, where have you been? And yo, he get his man Jerome to throw in the trash can. Like, it's not funny because it's clearly violence and like misogyny and a lot of like awful concepts going on in Purple Rain. But it was just like, yo, why was I watching this at 8 years old? And I always pick 8. Like, I'm not sure if it was really 8, but just acknowledging that watching Purple Rain before the age of 12, I'm sure it was before the age of 10, like, was just, it's nasty work. I don't know if I would let my children watch Purple Rain. But then I think about it, like, maybe I would. I think the age would be very intentional, and I also think I would have a really deep dive conversation with them. But I also acknowledge that, like, maybe that time period is done, and, like, it definitely is. Like, I gotta say with it, even Prince's dad being abusive, and Prince then taking on the abusive traits of his dad, because he's not doing the proper healing and not being accountable, and like Prince having his group, his bandmates, like, bro, we got this song, and there's women who are making this beautiful song. It's literally the women who made Purple Rain. They wrote the music, like they create the music, they compose the music. They're trying to get him to listen, and he just will not tap in. But he's also suffering from like all the things he's dealing with in terms of his dad being abusive and his family life just being really awful. So it was interesting because I never, like, as an adult I can see it like, damn, like there's a lot of psychological things going on in here. And I could imagine somebody watching that and not really receiving all that message. So it's just interesting. But yeah, Purple Rain, man. But the music was amazing. I'm like, bro, he made all of this. He produced all of this. And the funnier part is, like, it's different bands doing the music, but Prince had his hands in just about everything being played. Like, that part was like, yo. Like, the time Apollonia finally taking the stage and there's a Prince produced track, it's like, yo, like, this dude was wild with the music. Like, I get why I took to him. I get why I took to it. But the level of confidence, there was also like a really fun dynamic between him and Apollonia that I enjoy seeing. I think I want to do that with a sister, respectfully. You know, I want to do that with a black queen. Apollonia was a pretty woman, but I could see, you know, a sister having that type of energy with me. You know what I'm saying? A black woman. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like watching him and Apollonia when he tell her to get in the you gotta do the initiation and you gotta jump in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. She get naked, jump in the water. He's like, that's not Lake Minnetonka. The playfulness that they experience and like still find a way to really just enjoy each other. It was also just like there can be love and trauma. I don't know if it's glorifying it. You know, because Prince, and again, I'm doing my best not to laugh because Trigger, he's beating his girlfriend up. Like, he's saying he loves her and putting his hands on her. She's like, I'm gonna go join the group with Morris. And he smacks her. And like literally is copying his dad. Like, quite literally following the pattern. It's to the point where the owner of the club is like father, like son. You're just like your dad. You're just like your daddy. And it was just like, yo, make it clearer. Like, can it be any more clear? But I don't know. He wasn't tuned in. So yeah, Purple Rain was like, yo, his androgyny, like, he's just, I don't know. It's hard to describe it. Like, it's really nothing it's no full way to, you know, put word to it. I'm sure somebody more intelligent, you know, somebody more well versed in these topics can clear up my ideas. But bro, Purple Rain, still one of my favorite movies. Still one of my favorite movies. I literally might run it back. Like I was like, yo, this was a good time. It's like a big music video. because it's low key a musical, but more dialogue, and they're not like singing out the dialogue. I don't really care for that too much. You know, singing every "I just want to love you, I care so much." I like that it was like, yo, I'm taking stage tonight, and this is what I'm giving to the stage. Like each character had moments on the stage, or the main characters at least had moments on the stage where you had to tap in and be like, yo, they lit. Yeah, they real lit. Okay, we got our first pour. Let's take our time. Breathe. That green tea. Yes, God. Okay. Gratitude. About six of them cucumbers. 6 cucumbers. Now for the apple you gets. Apple you gets. The ginger. You know what? I'm doing celery too. I was kidding. That ain't the only green you finna see. I'm doing celery. Celery. I'm doing celery. Yes, but man, Purple Rain was a wild movie, man. If you haven't seen Purple Rain, I think you should go watch that. You should find it, watch it, and tell me what you think. You know, tell the world what you feel. Valerie. You know, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful today. I'm feeling grateful. I'm feeling juicy. Pause. I don't know why I said pause. I'm sorry. I having to get out of that too. Like saying pause and stuff is, growing up, releasing habits that aren't all so proper. Can you make it? It's funny too, thinking about, okay, I love Purple Rain. I love the R&B music. My grandfather was deeply in love with my grandmother. Like deeply in love with my grandmother. Like sing songs to her. Like probably wrote some songs I don't even remember. Or just whatever. Like my grandfather was in love with my grandmother. They had 9 kids. They had 9 kids and raised 12. And watching that up close, watching my grandfather loving my grandmother was like my dream. Not in that way. That sounds wild. But like it was my dream to have a woman, or have that with a woman that I cared for. To just love her in the way that my grandfather was in love with my grandmother. And I think that was extended in Purple Rain, where I'm seeing like Prince is going through all of this mess, and he sees this girl in a club that stops time. He's just like, I gotta have her. And unfortunately, he doesn't overcome his trauma as he's trying to have her. It's wild because it's like happy ending vibe. Doesn't really give full insight, but he writes a song about his dad, who essentially tries to kill himself. And when he writes that song, everybody's like there for him. They're cheering him on. It's like this really joyful moment. But it's just sad that it had to come. His transformation, or his clarity had to come at the cost of like being petty to people, like really petty to people. It's like, I think that's what I'm sitting into more as of late. Like, do you have to go through this dark night of the soul moment to come to Jesus, or to get righteous? And there's a lot of people that make space for it. But the truth of it is, like, people don't have to forgive you when you find yourself. When you get back right after you've gone through your ugly. And I've had my ugly because of things I've gone through. But I've done my best to not, like, excuse the behavior that took place when I had my ugly. By the grace of God, I haven't put my hands on a woman. I haven't gotten violent. Just think about the forgiveness a lot of women have had for men. And I was, in terms of like still loving us through our shortcomings. That woman did not have to put up with that. And it's crazy. Like, none of them women had to put up with that. Once Prince said, no, we're not doing them songs, like, they could have been out of there. They could have gone. He's like, no, I'm not sticking around for this. You don't care about us. You don't respect us. You don't honor us. But it was like too normal. It was too normal for like, oh, you're just silly women who wrote this song that's literally going to change my life. Y'all just wrote these beautiful chords that I'm going to sing in the end. You're just women. It's like, no, that's not the facts. Like, that's awful. So seeing him treat them like, essentially treat the women in his life like an afterthought was shitty. And I think that's what I'm centering after watching Purple Rain. Even like his mom gets beat up by his dad, and instead of like consoling his mom longer, he goes to find his dad. And his dad is in the basement playing piano, and he like has this moment of like, oh, but I want you to see me. And I don't know if it was intentional. Like, I don't know his stance on it, because I don't think it was a lot of. I may have to watch interviews on the movie to get a clear understanding. That I don't even know if he did, there were any. But it's like that actually happens. Identifying more with the abuser than like the people that they're abusing, which is crazy. I'm like, bro, how do you end up choosing your dad in this? But again, I've seen it, and I've done it. I've been there. And finding accountability within yourself and grace, accountability and grace at the same time. I was like, did he really just sit here at this piano, like trying to get lyrics, or like trying to figure out more music from this guy? Yep, he did. Because like he just wants his dad to love him. He wants his dad to love him. Like, this movie is literally daddy issues. The movie Purple Rain is daddy issues. That's what it is. His father beats his mother. His father hates that he's the way he is, but isn't aware of the ways that he can change. Also, a different time. He's a black man dating a white woman in Minneapolis. All of the layers to that. He's blaming the woman for the fame that he didn't get to attain. Like, she ruined his career. But it's all him. It's all him. It's his ego. It's his narcissism. It's his inability to recognize that like other people are not responsible for his pain, and they don't have to be. And the people that probably are responsible for his pain are not actually being held accountable, which is kind of what Prince is going through. He's not holding his father accountable for the pain that he's living in, and he's excusing his father's pain because he has the same issue. Versus being like, you know what, Dad, you on some bullshit. Because that's what it was. Dad, you on some bobo. And I can't support this. You are whooping my mother, man. They like, you got a problem. Baby, I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Cry. Now that was the thing that really got to me. It was like, what was the thing? I don't know, but yeah. Dad, I saw Mom beat up down the street. Why'd you do that to her? Did you do that to her? Like, you know he did that to her, bro. You know he did that to her. But yeah. It's my thought for the day. I'm at like the 20-minute mark. I'm gonna go over to Instagram, get him a little talk. And yeah. Wish y'all a happy new year. Hope y'all have a blessed day. I hope y'all get to celebrate safely. Whenever you're watching this, may your life be abundant and peaceful. If you don't feel like making no juice, go get you some juice. Some good places, you know what I'm saying? If you're in the Baltimore area, tap in with Jugo de Fresco. No, Tequero Jugo. Who's Jugo de Fresco? I don't know. Tap in with Tequero Jugo. Got some good juice, man. Do that for yourself. Treat yourself to something better. You know what I'm saying? Because you deserve it. Woo! That celery got a smell to it. It smell like health in here. It smell like health in here. Yeah. Appreciate anybody who stopped through here. Peace. Be blessed.